really don't need to do this. Welcome. We're glad you're here. I call this meeting of the Magnolia Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Chapter 551. So if everybody will please stand, Jordan is going to lead us in our invocation.
Good evening. As we always do, please join me in prayer. Lord, we're so thankful for tonight. We're so thankful for our community and our school district. We ask that you'd continue to be with Dr. Bullock and the board and the administration, the principals, and all the many leaders that we have in our district. We ask that you give us each the strength and knowledge and wisdom to make the right decision to bless our kids the best that we can. Lord, I'm always mindful of our seniors, and we ask that you be with them as they get ready for the next journey that they'll have after they graduate our schools. We ask and hope that we're giving them all the knowledge and character that they need to succeed in their lives. Lord, we ask again that you be with us tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. All right, so we'd like to ask Mr. Fox and Miss Peterson, trying to be very formal here, call you all up and lead us in the pledge. Now, you're doing the U.S. one first, right? Okay, lead us in our pledge, and then you can do the Texas one right after.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Now, Evelyn, if you could stay up here, and you could join, everybody can be seated now. Sorry. Yeah, we don't need to stand all the way through the night. Okay, we're going to have you go first.
Thank you, Mr. Blizzard, Dr. Bullock, and the board for this wonderful opportunity. I would like to introduce you to Evelyn Peterson as Ellisor Elementary's Student of the Month. Evelyn is joined by her parents, Jenna and Luke Peterson, Mrs. Fields, Mrs. Riley, Miss McNeil, and a whole host of 3rd and 4th grade teachers that are here to celebrate her. She has quite a fan club if you haven't figured that out yet. Evelyn is a 4th grade student at Ellisor. She's been on our campus since she was in kindergarten. She is an excellent, excellent role model. She has 2 siblings. She has Jenna, who was with us at Ellisor, but she has moved on to Bear Branch Intermediate. And then we have Liam, who is in 1st grade at Ellisor. And then she shared with me her favorite subject is math. And she said, her math teachers are proud, because she said there isn't a whole lot of reading involved with that. She is also a member of our choir and our PALS program at school. Outside of school, she loves to play softball and enjoys building and designing things, which is perfect because when she grows up, she would like to be an architect. She's not quite sure where she wants to go to school just yet, but A&M is on her list. And so she's going to wait and see all the possibilities. Here are some of the things that our staff shared about Evelyn. Ms. Masicek, her math teacher, said every single day she shows up to school with a positive attitude, a kind heart, and a growth mindset. She is a perfect role model for her peers as she continually loves each of them with a big heart. She does not have one enemy and makes everyone in her presence feel loved and accepted. She often jumps into action to assist her peers who are struggling with a concept and leaves them feeling as though they are capable of anything. She is a natural-born leader and teacher. Evelyn is beyond respectful to her teachers and is a tremendous asset to the classroom. The world is a better place with Evelyn in it. Not only is Evelyn filled with love and kindness, but she is also extremely bright. The tenacity she shows day in and day out is phenomenal. She always goes above and beyond in her schoolwork. Evelyn is one well-rounded human being who will go far in our world. Ellisor is lucky to have her. And her ELA teacher, Miss Morgan, said, Evelyn is an extremely compassionate and responsible student. She shows up prepared every single day to learn and help her classmates learn. She pays attention to those struggling and often steps in without prompting to help others in their academic work or make them feel welcome. She is extremely respectful to all adults and takes pride in her work. She is an outstanding young lady, and I could not think of a better person that exemplifies all of our character traits at Ellisor. Evelyn, we are so proud of you. Congratulations for being Ellisor's Student of the Month.
SJ, you're next.
Thank you, Dr. Bullock, Mr. Blizzard, and members of the board. Tonight is an absolute pleasure that I have an opportunity to introduce Celie James Fox, or SJ, as one of our exceptional sixth grade students at Magnolia Intermediate School. SJ is in all advanced classes, is a straight A student with perfect attendance. When we asked our staff to nominate students who they felt were worthy of being our district's December Student of the Month, he was nominated and voted on by an overwhelming amount of our staff. Some of them were his current sixth grade teachers, others were his previous fifth grade teachers, including one who had him way back in his elementary years. In fact, several of them are here tonight. Ms. Moret, who is a current MIS teacher and formerly SJ's third grade reading teacher, as well as Ms. Hood and Ms. Sadler, two of his fifth grade teachers from last year, and Ms. Gunderson, his current sixth grade advanced math teacher. Of course, I can't forget our MIS admin team. Ms. Evans, Mr. Howyer, Ms. Robertson, and Ms. Garcia all are here to acknowledge this incredible young man. To give you some more context about how amazing SJ is, at MIS we started a weekly tradition of nominating and selecting a student of the week. The students have to demonstrate our core Mustangs Ride values. The RIDE has an R squared, with the R standing for respect and responsibility. We also have integrity, dedication, and empathy. Since starting this last January, SJ has been nominated for our Mustang of the Week multiple times, and thus far, he is our only student to have received the Mustang of the Week in both fifth grade and sixth grade. This is an incredible accolade. Coupled with the people in this room to support SJ, it shows how much of a lasting impact he has already made in his year and a half at MIS. In fact, here's some things his MIS teachers have to say about him. Ms. Moret, who's here tonight, his third grade RLA teacher, stated, I can remember that when SJ was in my class, he was very committed to his values, he was respectful, and stood up for what he believed in. His work ethic was unmatched. He was very enthusiastic about striving for excellence and helping others to do as well. He leads by example. He is a kiddo that I can never forget, and I'm so grateful I got to know him. Ms. Hood, his fifth grade teacher, who's here tonight, says, congratulations, SJ. SJ is a remarkable young man who stands out for his intelligence, dedication, and strong work ethic. He is not only an outstanding student, but also very kind and loyal to his friends and peers. And what makes SJ truly shine is his faith, which is evident in the way that he leads by example and encourages others around him. This well-deserved honor is a testament to SJ's exceptional character and impact both in and out of the classroom. SJ, I'm so proud of you, and I'm blessed to have an honor to have had you as a student. Ms. Gunderson, who's also here tonight, his current sixth grade advanced math teacher, stated, SJ is an outstanding student in the classroom. He is consistently demonstrating determination to master concepts. He is not afraid to ask questions and is always happy to help his fellow classmates, while continually cheering them on. He tackles any challenge with persistence and fortitude. And on top of all of that, SJ is a kind friend and positive presence in the class. I could go on and on. In fact, when I reached out to his teachers, I had an overwhelming response. I had 10 teachers respond wanting to share how remarkable this young man was. And so what I did was print these off so that I can hand them to his father, James Fox, who's with us tonight, his brother, Levi, who is a student at Audubon. His mother, Kate, was unable to join us tonight because his sister, Annabella, is a student at MWHS, and they have an MWHS band concert tonight. SJ is also a band student. At MIS, his favorite subjects are band, math, science, and reading. When he graduates, he plans to attend Texas A&M. I knew that was coming. And he actually is getting some practice at home because he has 3 dogs. He has, he's getting future practice as a veterinarian. That's what he wants to do at A&M. He has 3 dogs. He has 13 chickens and a donkey. All right. Outside of school, SJ said that he likes playing outside with his brother and watching football with his dad. He enjoys camping, swimming, and spending time with his friends and family. He also shared that he wants everyone to know that his favorite food is Papa John's stuffed crust pizza. SJ, there is no doubt in my mind that you will achieve whatever you put your mind to. I speak for all your teachers and our entire MIS staff when I say that we appreciate your hard work, your leadership, and it is an honor to present you to the community as our December Magnolia ISD Student of the Month. And I will say this too, one last thing. Tonight, your Papa John's stuffed crust pizza is on the MISD admin team. Yes, sir.
I want both of y'all to know, we pick one student from each campus per year. So you represent your campus for the year. That's pretty high honor. That's, you're in thin air, right? And I'm pleased, just overjoyed to know where you might want to go to school when you're done here. So that's even better. Thank you guys, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you guys again because they're so young that we get to see them for many more honors before you graduate. So congratulations. Let's give these guys a hand. So we want to thank America's ER for all they do for support of our Students of the Month. Let's give these guys another hand. This is awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, Dr. Garza, I think you're up next.
All right, well, good evening, Mr. Blizzard, Dr. Bullock, members of the board. Thank you so much. We are here to honor our December Teacher of the Month. It's Elsor again, because I just did Student of the Month. Our winner this month is Miss Sydney Miles. She has been with the district for 8 years, and she's only been teaching 8 years, so she's been all with us, and she did her student teaching here. She teaches 4th grade math for us, and I will say that 4th grade math team, which I see Miss Masichek back there as well, they rocked the first 9 weeks of the data. They were kicking tail in the first 9 weeks, so congratulations on that. And we're looking forward to more great data from you, so I appreciate all you do for us, and you've been a blessing to the campus. Thank you so much.
All right, so Dr. Garza stole a little of my thunder to know that she did her student teaching at Ellisor. And so I've had the wonderful privilege of watching Sydney grow from a student teacher all the way to the fabulous teacher that she is today. There is not a time that I don't walk into her classroom where she has such engagement. She thinks and makes every decision based on the entire child and not just looking at test scores. She wants to make them better in every aspect of them. Every time I go in there, her students are so excited to tell me what she's taught them and all of the fabulous things that they're learning. So I am so proud of you, Sydney, for an amazing job that you're doing.
approach every day with an open heart, ready to grow students socially, emotionally, and academically to teach the whole child. I did struggle in school, but I had some very dedicated and devoted teachers that gave me all the tools and all the strategies, and they showed so much patience and they never gave up on me. I've always wanted to be a teacher, to be that same teacher that I once had. What keeps my teacher heart full is watching kids grow day to day, not just academics, the social aspects and emotional. I just love seeing that growth day to day. And if you really look for it, you will see it each day. You will see some kind of growth in a student each day, and that's what makes me come back. Setting goals with the students, like personalized goals with them, and then reach them makes the best. It's my favorite thing of all time. I love teaching because day to day you can find something positive that happened in your day if you just focus on the positives.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Bullock. Good evening, everyone. My name is Becca Henry, and I am the president of Magnolia Education Foundation, and we are honored to be a proud sponsor of the district's Teacher of the Month recognition program. Ms. Miles, thank you for being such a loving and dedicated teacher. Your dedication to each one of your students and your encouragement for them to grow is truly inspiring. You are invaluable not only to your students and your school, but to the entire Magnolia ISD community. Thank you for choosing this career and being so passionate about our students' education. We truly are incredibly grateful to have you as an educator. Congratulations on being our December Teacher of the Month. Please join me again in another round of applause for Ms. Miles.
Congratulations, we appreciate you. Dr. Campbell, you're next.
Dr. Bullock, President Blizzard, and school board members, it never gets old. Thank you so much for always giving us a little bit of time to recognize our students. I work with career and technical education, and I wanted to briefly describe, it's not just one class, it's a series of classes that students take. We call them programs of study, and they pick which program of study they want to do, and then they take the first class, and I'll show you, I'm a visual learner, so I'll show you by representing this first blue block is the first class they take, and usually as a freshman. And then if they want to continue in that program of study, they would take the second class, represented by this orange block, and they're continuing on with the goal of finishing an entire program of study. And then the third area usually is a 2-credit class. So this was 1 credit, this is 1 credit. And sometimes the third level class is a 2-level class, and that's represented by these strawberry blocks right here. And so there's the first class, second class, third class, and there's a combination. You have to have 3 or more classes, 4 or more credits in order to get the certification, and then they take a certification. Okay, and that certification is called industry-based certification. And industry companies say if you have these industry-based certifications, we'll hire you. And then After that, if they're a senior, they can sometimes take a practicum, which is represented by this 2 credit. And a lot of times a company will hire them to come out and work for them while they're still in school and do like an internship, and sometimes it's actually paid. So like Evelyn, you wanted to be an architect, right? So in your case, it would be the Principles of Architecture, Architectural Design 1, Architectural Design 2, and then your certification, and then maybe a company would hire you to do that. And SJ, is that right? You want to do the veterinarian, right? So you would take a Principles of Ag class, and then maybe an equine science class and a livestock show production class, and then you could actually do a practicum with a veterinarian in our community, okay? And so today, I wanted to talk to you about a program that we're really proud of that we started just this last year. It was called HVAC. And so the first class there is Principles of Construction, and then HVAC and Sheet Metal 1. And then the second class is HVAC Sheet Metal 2. And the idea that as they move on and get their certification, then they'll hopefully work with some companies in their practicum. So we started last year with this class. We added this class this year, and we had no clue that we might have somebody who actually finished. But we do have that. And now I'd like to ask Mr. Emmert, the teacher of our HVAC program, to come up here and tell us a little bit more about the program and then also the student that we're here to recognize tonight. So this is Mr. Emmert.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell, Dr. Bullock, board members. My name is Anthony Emmert, and Dr. Campbell called me a few years ago to start an HVAC program. I think what went through my mind first was my 2 children who are in Magnolia ISD. What are they going to do after high school? What do we do if they don't want to go to college, right? That's the whole basis behind this program. A quick background of myself: I'm a husband, father, business owner, licensed contractor, teacher, trainer, and coach. I have an associate's in HVAC from Texas State Technical College and went on to achieve a Master's of Business Administration from West Texas A&M. I have 20 years of hands-on experience in sales management, design, marketing, training, consulting, and entrepreneurship. In a world where education is changing, the classroom can look different. Once where students are presented with the opportunity to experience what a real job is like, working with current equipment and tools, learning from an industrial specialist. HVAC is a job readiness program with hands-on learning. In order to accomplish this, we concentrate first on safety, second on safety. The reason for that, the kids are going to be messing with 230 volts of electricity and some dangerous chemicals, so we need to be safe. They have the opportunity to work with industry tools and actual equipment they will see once entering the workforce. At the end of the program, I invite local companies to come in, interview, and present job opportunities. We have several partnerships already with local HVAC companies, including some that are represented here tonight, Hunt and Train, who have offered our student a paid internship starting next year. In the meantime, I'm working to get with some local companies to get him a paid internship during the summertime until that time comes. So if Hayden would come up, I'd like to recognize him. Hayden, in only 2 years, he actually came to me in the fall of last year and said, I really want to do this. So I said, well, we've already done our safety program, so I need you to do the safety program, and you have this weekend. I was testing him. I didn't actually think he would do it. In fact, he comes back and says, I'm done the next day. I said, wow, very impressive. Hayden is unique in the way that we don't exactly have all the equipment or the building set up yet, so we had to get creative. I had to get people in the industry to help him out, have him run some service calls, get hands-on knowledge. This year, somehow he got 2 classes instead of 1. I still don't understand that. But in the class, 6th period, is the same class he took last year. So in that time, I had him studying the state study guide, and he would keep a journal. He would write down definitions and processes that maybe he didn't quite understand. In the second class, 7th period, he would go along with our HVAC students and learning whatever they were learning that day. After school, he decides he would stay, okay? So every day he's staying, he's asking me questions. definitions, processes, all that kind of good stuff. And then he decides, last month? About last month that, hey, I'm ready to take this certification test. So I said, let's do it. He takes it, and not only did he pass the first section, the second section, he passed all 3 sections, which makes him a universal certified EPA technician, basically to handle refrigerant. So he's not going to have any issues finding any jobs going forward from this day. But I just wanted to recognize him as our first Magnolia ISD graduate of the HVAC program. So please join me in recognizing him.
And in this, we wanted to also ask Mr. Morley and Mr. Quinn to come up. They're our administrators that are a huge part of this. We will be opening a new HVAC building in January. He's been in there a lot, peaking, and we're ready for that. And also, Hayden's mom is here tonight. Wave at us. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your support. And Mr. Blizzard, if you'll come present this to him, then we'll take a picture over there. All right? Thank you, Dr. Bullock. Yeah. Let's give him another round of applause. Let's go take a picture. Go get a picture.
Well, that's an honor. Congrats. Serial number 01, right? All right, I think you're up next, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Blizzard. So it is my honor tonight to recognize a group of parents we have here. We have a program in the district that we refer to as our Parent Leadership Program. This is a group of parents that are recommended by campus administrators as parents who would maybe take an interest in learning a little bit more about our district and we would like to spend some time with. And this is their graduation night. So we spend 4 or 5 meetings with them. We show them a lot of different things about the district and let them ask good questions. And some of them survive to the end of it. And we had a little graduation thing earlier, presented them with a plaque, but wanted to recognize them at our school board meeting. So this group up front, would you guys please stand and be recognized as having completed our Parent Leadership Program? Thank you very much. We'll let you guys have a seat for just a second. And I just wanted to say that what was Dr. Stevens' standard joke for all those years with the Parent Leadership Group is he would always say that he thought this was the best group ever.
Well, that's right.
I think
every group he had was the best group that
Yeah.
he says, I think this is the best group we've had yet.
Yeah, and so a lot of our board members up here at one point had been through this Parent Leadership Group. Maybe it surprised them. You thought y'all were the best group ever.
And so we were insulted because it's always a better group coming up, right?
Yes.
But this is true for you.
Oh, yeah, this is my first group, so this would be the best group
Yeah.
that I've ever been a part of. So let's just kind of settle with that. In all seriousness, look, guys, we really appreciate y'all giving us some of your time, and more importantly, entrusting your kids to our school district, and being willing to participate and volunteer. And I think the parents participating in our district and helping to keep us as administrators pointed in the right direction is really at the heart and soul of what we're trying to do here. So thank you so much for your time and effort, and we're going to have another one of these programs, here in the near future, and there will be other classes, but there will only be one first class, at least for me as superintendent through this. So, guys, thank y'all very much. And when we hit our break here in a second, we'll get y'all over there for a picture, a group photo, and I'm sure we'll be in touch with you soon with more things we'd like to ask for your support on. So thank you very much. Mr. Blizzard, would you like to say anything to them?
Yeah, no, thank you, guys. We appreciate your time. We know it took time to do what you did and hopefully learn a little bit more about what it is we do and help us all. It takes a village. I mean, all of us working together and trying to lead in our own way and do what we can. So thank you.
Anybody else? You guys got to spend a little time with them at dinner this evening? There we go.
I have one thing to say. Go Big Red. Tonight we were visiting. It's just great being a parent leadership cohort in 2016. It's just great to see y'all. The program's still going, and we appreciate y'all very, very much. And I met a couple, and they were both from Nebraska, and I am as well. So that was fun.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, guys, congratulations again, and
yes, this is our best part of the evening. Those of you who hadn't been to our board meetings, this is our best part of the evening for the recognitions from you guys to HVAC, to our teacher of the month, to our students of the month. This is the recognition part of the meeting, so that's our favorite time because we get to see all the good things going on in the district. Do we have anything else we want to?
No, sir.
So at this point, we want to invite you to stay for the business part of the meeting, but if you want to slip out, this is an opportunity to do so because we're going to take a short 5-minute break. Thank you. So far, we've successfully not knocked over all the trees up here, so it's been a good night. Okay, Ms. Hinkleman, we have anybody signed up to speak? I don't guess so. All right, thank you. All right, sir, I think you're next.
all right. So, a superintendent's report for you. Just really want to let you guys know about some things coming up here. Mainly, look, guys, we are in the home stretch here. Christmas break is, there's some people out here in the audience that might not only be counting the days, but also the hours. Our administrators out here, and I know our teachers as well, and our parents also, but we've had a tradition here the last few years where we open up this building to the staff and look forward to having that happening this Friday. So I want to remind you guys from 10 a.m. to 3, we will be here kind of receiving staff and wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and sending everybody off to spend time with their families. So there will be all kinds of fun things happening with this. We have raffle baskets and a holiday meal. I think there's some hot cocoa at times and whatever else may go on. So it is come and go, and I know our campuses try to let everybody find a way to get over here on that day, but wanted you guys to know that's coming, and would love to have you all be a part of that also this coming Friday. So, and we can send everybody off to get some well-deserved rest and relaxation and family time. So that's kind of the big thing in the district here. You know, we have final exams at the secondary level and all that good stuff, and Christmas parties, and how fun, right? Elementary principals, all of the sugar this time of year. Anyway, guys, that's what's going on in the district. So we look forward to Friday and celebrating with the staff. That's
Awesome,
That's
sir.
what I have.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Mr. Bruner, I think you're next.
Good evening. I just want to bring you quickly an update of where we're at with our construction projects from the 22 bond. Starting you out tonight with a picture of Parkway Intermediate. As you know, we spent most of, we kind of focused on that campus at the last board meeting. It's essentially complete. We are just working on punch list items, and we're scheduled for furniture delivery after the holidays. So that building will be available for use this semester, just probably not by students just yet. And if you'll notice in the picture, we are still constructing the outdoor classroom area. That's the patch of dirt there you see in the back of the property. Moving on to the junior high, at this point we have permanent power, we have conditioned space, We have our gas tied in. We're still waiting on fiber, and we're still waiting on an approval from TxDOT on the intersection design. As you may or may not know, well, we were challenged with not only designing, but constructing and paying for the construction for that intersection, while TxDOT holds all the strokes. So we're waiting on them to approve our design, and hopefully we can get started on that and have that done in time. Give you some shots of the exterior, main entrance. This is just south face of the building, give you an idea of the finishes and where we're at with that. We actually have started the landscaping. We're drilling the irrigation well right now, but we're starting on the landscaping, and so to be starting the landscaping this early in the project is a good sign that our May date for completion is looking pretty good. This is the main entrance to the gymnasium, and I hate to say it, but this gym area, this competition area, and the foyer is going to rival our high schools. This is the courtyard canopy. This is a section of canopy just outside of the cafeteria that faces the courtyard. It's going to be a great area for not only outdoor use for a learning space, but for lunch with the parents and things like that. You can see the finishes that are ongoing inside. We've started on some of the floor tile in some of the areas, but the wall tile is going at a pretty rapid pace. Here's a shot of the Main Street corridor. This is a view into the library as we're starting to do the storefront. And this is a classroom corridor, and finally a classroom. And these things, we're starting to install the casework. After that, the flooring will go down. They'll be dropping ceilings. I mean, within probably a month to 6 weeks, we'll have these classrooms completed. So again, we're looking really good on that schedule for a May turnover, and that gives us, we think, sufficient time to get moved in. This is another building that's under construction. This is the Magnolia event building. It's just a smaller event facility that's on this Parkway campus. We're trying to get it wrapped up in January. You can see the interior finishes are going very well. We're polishing the floor. The floor in that facility will be very similar to the floor in this building. Shot of the kitchen, just to let you know we're still under construction, but we're getting there. Moving on to the CTE buildings, this is the health CTE building at Magnolia High School. It's been signed off by the fire marshal, and we also have furniture scheduled for this building for January 6th. So we hope to have it available for the students when they come back. We're cutting it close, but I think we're going to be there. This is a view of the interior. This is the lab with the ambulance simulator. There's also, to the right, you can't really see. You can see those curtains, but there's a section for hospital beds over there. This is Lab 2, and you can see the sink, the toilet, and the shower fixtures in the far corner is for some of the training that will go on in assisting, patients. I know it looks kind of funny with an open bathroom, but that's what it's for. And you can see again, also in this lab, we have a section where there will be hospital beds. Typical classroom. This is the HVAC CTE addition that's going on over at Mag West. And, obviously, it was great tonight to see that student, that staff member, the teacher. He's been over many times and looked at this facility, given us some good tips. But I think it's going to meet their needs. This is kind of an interesting shot, just that what I'm showing you here is electrical disconnects, because this is where the actual condensing units that they'll be working on will be. These will be working, functional pieces of equipment. This is the lab. This is where the indoor mechanical equipment, like if you go up in your attic and you have an air handler up there, this is where this equipment will be. Typical classroom. These two classrooms have a dividing wall so that they can open it up for large group instruction. This gives it some flexibility. Finally, over at the high school, Magnolia High School, we have the JRTC building. I think at last month's presentation, I showed you a slab. So the building is up, and you can see on the interior, it's a little messy, but we're putting that together, trying to rough that in. One of the things I wanted to point out on this shot is this isn't a little more than a typical metal building. With that beam going across there, it will also support a similar type dividing wall, so that this area can be used as their shooting range, and then it can also be closed off and function as two classrooms. So again, flexibility being the key there. That's it. If you have any questions.
I don't usually have a lot of questions for this, but I was at bingo Saturday night here in this building, and I had to park a ways because there's a lot of folks here, and it just is crazy to look back there and just see I come here all the time, but parking way down close to there and just seeing the progression, it's awesome. So we're excited.
Yeah, it happened quick.
It did.
It really did.
I remember my son playing baseball back behind there for Little League or whatever, so it's kind of crazy.
I just want to say, it's so awesome seeing these CTE buildings coming about for HVAC and for health, I guess for our certified nursing assistants and our EMT. I mean, we've been talking for years about needing these buildings in junior ROTC, and now these buildings are here. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's got to be helpful to the program. I was talking with Robert Collins, Assistant Director of Maintenance, and he goes, man, maybe I should get up there and offer that kid a job.
Yeah,
So, that'd be great if we were able to do something like that.
Well, and I think it's great for our community to see that these programs are offered through high school and that these kids can be certified, and right out of high school, they can be hired immediately.
Yeah, that's the idea. So, yeah, it's great for these to come together, and it's the timing is it's been a tough schedule, but I think we're going to be ready for it in January.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I mean, just to echo what they've said a little bit, it's becoming real, which is cool. I had the opportunity years ago to take a tour of Frisco's CTE facility, and I remember thinking at that time, man, it'd be nice if we could get some things like this, and it's happening. So that's cool.
Well, and since we're talking about CTE, we'd be remiss if we didn't compliment. I mean, we have a wonderful culinary arts program that left some beautiful spiced bread up here that they baked for us. And we have advanced floral design that made these for the holidays. So, I mean, we have some amazing programs. I just want to make sure we give a shout out to all of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bruner. Appreciate your work, and especially in bringing projects in on time, and very budget conscious, and I just appreciate your leadership in this area. Makes us a better district.
On time, he's ahead of time most of the time. Okay, before we hear from Dr. Morris, we're going to go to our consent agenda, and this portion of the agenda consists of items to be routine and enacted by one motion unless separate discussion is requested. So, are there any questions about the consent agenda items that we have? Everybody good? All right, then we need a motion that we approve this. Motion by Sonia, seconded by Dasha. All in favor? Okay, that passes. Thank you. Dr. Morris.
Thank you, sir. Good evening. I'd like to quickly add to Mr. Bruner, not just on time, but under budget as well. So thank you, Tim. Excuse me. So tonight, as we do about this time each and every year, we have the first report to give to you guys to then open for public hearing. That's the as a reminder, Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas, or what I like to call the state's financial report card. And I'll give you a brief history of that just as a reminder. And then I'll try to go through this pretty quickly, guys, for the benefit of our principals who are here tonight and others who want to get home. So tonight's information is for fiscal year 23 for the 22-23 school year. Again, just as a reminder, guys, this is something that was established during the 1999 legislative session. that went into effect in 2001, intended to produce some sort of mechanism similar to academic performance, if you will, to allow district stakeholders to get a glimpse of how well districts are performing financially. So in a nutshell, there's 21 indicators. There are 4 indicators that are known as critical, of which if you miss the mark on any of those, you automatically receive an F. And then there are a handful of ceiling indicators towards the bottom of the page that you can see there that if you do not meet the perfect mark on any of those, there is a maximum score that you can receive. Okay? So, drum roll. Just kidding. Historically, we've performed very well on the first report. You know, I went back to 2013. I could have gone back to 2001, but over the last 11 years, you know, we've scored an A each and every year. This year we scored a 96, which we're proud of, and I'll show you sort of how that compares with some of the other districts in just a moment. But pleased with the overall score, and then I'll get into the specifics of the few indicators that we narrowly missed the mark. I'm going to go through much of this very quickly, guys, because it's very, very simple, okay? Critical indicators are the first 4. Did we submit our audit on time? The answer is yes. Was there an unmodified opinion by our external auditor? The answer is yes. Did we make payments in compliance with all of our debt agreements? Obviously, the answer to that is yes. Did we make timely payments to governmental entities? The answer to that is yes. Did the district have a positive net position? The answer to that is yes. Was the average change in fund balance over 3 years less than 25% decrease? And as the board knows, the answer to that is yes as well. And now we'll start getting into some of those where it takes calculations. So indicator 7, and I'm going to dive into this one in just a moment. I'll circle back to it. But this is one of the 2 that we narrowly missed the perfect mark, and it has to do with cash on hand. You know, we often refer to fund balance instead of cash on hand. And again, I'll go into further detail on this, but in just a moment, we scored 8 of 10 at 84 days. Okay, and again, I'll circle back. Indicator number 8 was the measure of current assets to current liabilities ratio sufficient to cover short-term debt. Now, these are all items that are within 1 year. Okay, so in order to score a perfect 10 of 10, you had to have had a score greater than 3, okay? So the higher the score, the better the better you score on this indicator, okay? And so you'll see that I've got some of our peers on a few of these slides just to show how we compare. So for the purposes of this indicator, as it relates to short-term assets and current liabilities, you can see that we score well above our peer districts for financial stability perspective. Okay. Did we meet or exceed revenues? Obviously, we had a balanced budget, so the answer to that is yes. We received 10 of 10. Let me go back. Did y'all have any questions? I'm sorry, I need to slow down a little bit. Did y'all have any questions on this? Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
How many years have we had a balanced budget?
Well,
as long as I can.
2008.
2008.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So indicator 11, this is the second and only other indicator where we narrowly missed a perfect score, where we received an 8 of 10. And this is the one that has haunted us for several years in a row. And basically, it's a comparison of your long-term liabilities to your total assets. And there's a ratio when you combine those numbers. The lower the score, the better the score. So you can see towards the bottom of the page, anything less than a 0.6, you receive a perfect 10 of 10. However, there is an avenue for districts to automatically receive a 10 of 10 on this, which is having a enrollment growth over the previous 3 years of 7% or higher. Okay? So as you look at this, you can see that versus our peers, we score higher. Unfortunately, this does include 21-22 where we decreased in enrollment. We will not have to worry about not automatically bypassing this next year and every year there forward, okay? Obviously, we will meet 7% over a 3-year span. But you can see in this year, we grew 6%, so we were just under 7. So we could not automatically bypass it. However, for the purposes of the financial stability associated with the score, once again, you can see that we score better than our peers. I think it's important to note with this, this does include the first year of the addition of the 2022 bond, okay? So this includes the $226 million in principal. So we score higher than all these other, or lower, but better, than our peer districts, even with that additional debt. Okay, any questions on that? Okay. What is the correlation between future debt requirements and the district's assessed property value? This is something that we've looked at many times as a board. There's many different ways to review your debt picture. There's debt per student. There's debt per property value, and that's the number that we normally look at. This is a percentage. It is the number, one number is your principal of your bonded indebtedness outstanding, and the other number is your property value, okay? So anything lower than 4, you receive a perfect 10 of 10. So yet again, as you can see, as we compare to our peers, from a financial stability perspective, we have a better score. And again, this does include the $226 million. So we're in a good position from a debt perspective. A lot of that has to do with our aggressive bond defeasance plan, and, spreading out, bond elections when we can. Any questions on that? Administrative cost ratio. This is something we've talked about every year as well. There's a different ratio assigned to districts based on a district size. So for over 10,000 students, this is a comparison of your central administration cost in comparison to your instructional cost, and it's nothing but a percentage. So anything below 8.5%, you receive a perfect score. Ours was right at 7.3%. From a monetary perspective, what that suggests is that we could spend approximately another $1.2 million on central administration cost, and in the eyes of TEA, would still receive a perfect score. So something we're proud of. Did comparison of PEIMS data to audit, was it less than a 3% variance per function? The answer to that is yes. We have no difference in PEIMS data and the audit. It matches to the 0. Was the audit free of instances of material weaknesses? And this is a ceiling indicator, and the answer is yes. So we pass that ceiling. Was the audit free of material noncompliance for grants, federal funds? The answer to that is yes. So we received a 10. Indicator 19, did we post the required information on our webpage from all of these governmental entities? And the answer to that is yes. Did the school board and administration discuss any changes to local, state, and federal funding within 120 days of adopting its budget? And of course, the board is well aware, yes, we did for months on end. Indicator 21, did the district receive an adjusted repayment schedule? The answer to that is no, because we reconcile our state aid each and every year. So I'm going to go into indicator 7 and then answer any question. So I guess first off, like I mentioned, most of the time, when we talk about strength of a district financially, the number one indicator is fund balance, okay? But for the purposes of this indicator, the way that they have the wording in here, it only includes cash and cash equivalents, okay? Now, in a perfect world, if all accounting is reconciled at the end of August and there's no encumbrances outstanding, and there's no due from other funds, the cash would meet your fund balance, okay? But that's never the case because that's a dream world. So as you look to the left side of the page there, you see data control codes 1110 and 1120. So for the purposes of this indicator, they add those two items together, which is about $29.3 million, okay? So that's what they use for this, and that equates to 84 days. You know, we always talk about fund balance, 3 months of operating expenses, 90 days, right? That's a target. So they use that. Excuse me. But if you look down the page on that same line or column, you'll see Fund 1260, which is due from other funds. So for fund balance purposes, you have to add that 3.6 million to those first two line items. So if you look at the far right, our fund balance at the bottom is 33.5 million. So our true fund balance is 96 days. But because of the timing of paying back the general fund from federal funds at the end of August, the cash and cash equivalents do not exceed the 90 days. Now, in all likelihood, those things were reconciled in September. So it's a timing issue is what it is. Now, I will say this, we've put some mechanisms in place in the accounting department you know, to try to get better in terms of this score solely for that purpose. I do have a bit issue, and I'll try not to get on my soapbox on this, but you know, just the language of it itself. Was the number of days of cash on hand and current investments in the general fund sufficient to cover operating expenses? Well, you know, if you're going to look at cash and cash equivalents, our cash and cash equivalents in the 22-23 school year never got below $20 million. Okay? With 29 million in cash and cash equivalents at the end of the year and a total fund balance of 33.5 million. So to suggest that even 29 million is not enough to do business is somewhat of a farce to me. I think what they intended was to look at financial stability via fund balance, but they missed the mark here. But you know what? It is what it is. Sorry, I'll let it go. Anyhow, we scored very well. You know, here's how we compared with some of the other districts in the area, guys. You know, I did not see one that had a perfect score in our area this year, which is pretty rare. You can see, you know, we scored the same as Conroe. Klein, Spring Branch, Cy-Fair, and Tomball were narrowly above us. Keep in mind, you know, they automatically passed that one indicator, even though we scored higher or better because of their enrollment growth. So ultimately, you know, I mean, we should be at a 98 easily, but, you know, we didn't get the automatic pass on that. But very pleased with the score. Hopefully, you know, hopefully it's sort of a, you know, a reminder to our stakeholders that, you know, I think we're doing things right. So be happy to answer any questions and then take a seat and open it up for public hearing. And I can go back to any slide if you'd like for me to.
Well, I mean, I do have a question before we start the hearing part of this. Have you found ourselves ever in any kind of disadvantage from having a 96 instead of a 97 or a 98 or 99? No, sir. I mean, it does not play into, you know, bond ratings and things of that nature. So no, sir. You know, public view potentially, but you're receiving an A. So, right. You know, so no, sir, not really. Maybe, you know, calling the neighbors and talking to them, no. Personal conversation, but other than that, no, sir, there's no effect. Cool. Anybody else have any questions? We're going to go to a hearing now. Okay, I'm going to read this just so I don't mess it up. We're now going to conduct a public hearing regarding the financial accountability rating first report. Any persons having comments or testimony regarding the report may come to the mic and speak to the board at this time. This is a hearing and not an opportunity for questioning the board or administration. Any questions should be addressed to the appropriate administrator outside of this hearing and board meeting. So I'll wait to see if anybody wants to step up to the mic. Going once, going twice. Okay. If there's no comments, that we're going to conclude this hearing. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay, our next item is to consider and approve a resolution submitting a nominee as a candidate for the election of the Montgomery Central Appraisal District's Board of Directors. So this is not a vote. We get to vote on the candidates later. I don't remember what the timing is. It's another month or two or three. But this is just about nominating a candidate for the Montgomery County Appraisal Board. That's what this is. So, and I'm going to read this also so I don't mess it up. It's time for us to nominate a candidate for the Montgomery Central Appraisal District Board of Directors, MCAD, election. We've been provided all the information in our board packets regarding this Board of Director election and its process. So the Montgomery Central Appraisal District, MCAD, board members are elected by taxing units such as school districts, cities, special districts, and Montgomery County. Nominations must be submitted by resolution before January 17th, 2025, which is why we're doing this tonight. The Montgomery County, the MCAD Board of Directors is responsible for governing the appraisal district. They hire the chief appraiser. This is a board of directors for MCAD. They hire the chief appraiser, approve the budget, approve contracts, and set general policies. They do not appraise property, review property values, or appoint members to the appraisal review board. So are there any questions about any of this from any of our board members tonight? Okay, if there's not, we want to make a motion that Magnolia ISD nominate current chairman Bruce Tuff as a candidate for the Montgomery Central Appraisal District Board of Directors election. Again, we're going to make a motion to nominate him for that. The election is yet to come. So are there any questions about that? All right, we need a motion to do that. Motion by Stacia, seconded by David. All in favor? That motion passes. All right, thank you. What else do we need to cover tonight, Dr. B?
That is it, sir.
All right. All right, we are now going to recess to move into closed executive session for the purposes permitted by A, discuss summary of findings from recent intrusion detection audits pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.076. B, consultation with attorney pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071. C, discussion of purchase, sale, exchange, or value of real property pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.072. And finally, personnel discussion pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.074. So thank you very much. All right, we need a motion to adjourn this meeting. Motion by Jay, seconded by Sonia and Dasha. Meeting adjourned. The time is 11 o'clock.